That's right, guys. You see the title. You know exactly what's about to happen today. Value bombs are about to be dropped all over this video. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name's Ari, and today we're actually going to be going into my computer. We're going to be looking at our Facebook Ads Business Manager, and we're going to actually create some audiences. And the reason why I want to do this is because, as you guys may or may not know, my main testing strategy involves creating multiple ad sets, multiple different audiences that you're gonna target. And one of the biggest issues that people face whenever it comes to this strategy is actually figuring out which audiences to target in each ad set, and also how to come up with more audience ideas so that they can get to a minimum of 10 different audiences that they're testing. Now, of course, if you have a limited budget, if you don't have at least $500 to $1,000 to invest into testing with paid advertising, I strongly advise you to not go into paid advertising right away and to instead just really work on those things that you can do for free, such as working on your store design, working on your social media pages, building a community around your brand, and then start slowly tackling Facebook ads or Instagram influencer shoutouts, or start with shoutouts if that's a lot easier for you and cheaper for you. But if you do have the money to start testing, then this is the perfect video for you. And if you don't, then this video still applies to you. Make sure you watch it all the way till the end, just so you learn as much as possible, so that when the time comes when you do want to spend money into ads, you know exactly what to do. So without wasting any more time, I'm gonna hop into my computer. I just want to make sure that if you haven't subscribed to the fam, make sure you do so. Subscribe to the family right now. Make sure you turn on those notifications so you get notified as soon as I upload a video. You definitely want to be one of the first people watching and getting those golden nuggets right away. And honestly, it helps me a lot. So if you're looking for a way to support me, just make sure you watch my videos right away. Make sure you leave a comment, a like, and of course, join my inner circle if you want to work closer with me. But otherwise, let's get right into it. Let's go. All right, guys, welcome to my computer. We're in here. I'm trying not to be super loud because last time you guys told me that the audio when I go into my laptop is kind of bad in comparison to the audio when I'm just recording with my camera. So I got a mic. I got my Blue Yeti mic. Super excited. I've had it for a while, but I don't really use it that much, so this is a perfect opportunity to use it. Let me know how you like this audio. Sounds pretty crisp on my end, but you know, it's important what you guys think, obviously. Now, as you see here, you know, I got AliExpress pulled up. I'm just gonna find a random product. What I did is I went on AliExpress, I clicked on home products, because guess what, guys? I'm not gonna lie, I personally feel like home is one of those, it's like the best niche, not gonna lie, just because, you know, fashion is and beauty, like it was the best niche, but it's very saturated now. I think too many people are into it. It's just becoming a little saturated essentially. So this is why personally I would go for the home niche if I was starting completely over in like a general niche store type of scenario. And as you can see here, the top 10 sellers, of course, the the moon lamp is in here, but there's also products that I've never seen before, such as this mesh thing. Even though it has 33,000 orders, which is insane, I've never seen this product before, which honestly, to me, that's a good thing. I think that's a little too many orders, but I still think this is worth a test, especially just because it has so many orders. It means a lot of people are buying it, and personally, like I said, I haven't really seen many dropshipping stores testing this, and I'm pretty active in terms of like how much I spy on people. So make sure you test this out, guys. Like, this is a really solid product, and I'm actually going to show you exactly how you can target this. So let's just look at another product just to make it a little better here. Let's just do another bestseller. I don't know what that is. I don't know. What is this? Magic Rust Brush. This is another perfect one. It has a ton of really solid orders. I mean, it has a lot of orders, guys. But you know why I also like these products? I know this is not what the video is about, but this is important. It's because of the product cost, guys. You really want to pick products that have a very low product cost. And the reason why is because when you get into higher product costs, it's harder. I mean, unless you're doing like 3x your product cost and you're getting like a huge margin, like $60 or so, it's going to be very difficult to be profitable. Like, let's just say you get a product for 20 bucks and sell it for 40. You make a $20 margin, which sounds great, but you're gonna need a 2 ROAS with your ad sets in order to break even, and that's kind of hard sometimes. But whereas with something like this, you could sell this for $14.99, And you'd be profitable even with like a 1.1 ROAS. You'd still make like a small profit. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you test products that have very, very low product cost, and that you can still make a margin on. For something like this, I would sell for $14.95, something like that. That's a pretty solid price point. So let's try this out. Let's do this one, and then let's do this one as well. So we'll test these products out. We're on my business manager here. This is just one of my random accounts that I have for example purposes. So let's create a campaign. Now, for the campaign name, we always do this. We'll do WC for website conversion, and we'll type in protective press mesh ironing cloth. Ironing cloth. And then we'll go break even point. Let's just say we're doing it for $14.95. So $14.95 minus $2.25, that's like what, $12. So we'll do like a 12. Let's just do $11 to be safe. I always undercut it a little bit because, of course, whenever we target worldwide, which you should, we want to make, a lot of countries have a lot more expensive shipping, and you shouldn't worry too much about that, guys. I know a lot of you ask me like, oh, Ari, but what do you do when you get orders from a different country that the shipping is too expensive, it eats into your margins? I totally get that, but trust me, it's not something you should be worried about. Like, just keep going, and if it is really becoming an issue, just start excluding that country. I mean, at least you got the purchase from there, so you're getting data, purchase data. So it's definitely worth it to test worldwide still. I think it's the cheapest way to do it, in my opinion. A lot of people will tell you otherwise, but this is just the way that I do things. And if you're following me, and you've been following me for a long time, I strongly suggest you do this as well. So this is what we're gonna do: campaign objective conversions, and let's just switch to guided creation here. Continue. Did we name this properly? Oh god, it started over. Okay, let's just name this again one more time. $11. We'll do continue. And then we'll start with the purchase conversion. This is the way to go. Just start with purchase. I know it'll be red if you have 0 purchases tracked, but it doesn't matter. This is just telling Facebook that you want purchases on your on this campaign. That's what this campaign and this ad set, that's the purpose of this ad set. You want it to get you purchases. So of course, if you say you want it to get you add to carts, that's what it'll do. You'll get a lot of add to carts. So this is why you want to start with purchase. And most people, like a lot of people will tell you otherwise, but trust me, this is what works. So do this. So then we'll go down here. We'll go slightly down here. And as you can see, this is already kind of preset for me. I don't know why. I think I must have been probably from a different video, but we'll do worldwide, of course. And then we'll exclude India. There's a lot of countries that I exclude nowadays, but there's not too many. Let's see, China, Thailand, Philippines. I'll just do Indonesia, Pakistan, and that's probably good. And of course, you can see where your traffic is coming from. If you're getting a lot of low converting traffic from a random country that you don't even really care about, then just start excluding it. It won't be a huge issue, especially if you're not really seeing like any winning ad sets or anything. Then it's totally fine to just edit it. But okay, so let's get started with the detailed targeting now. This is the point of the video. So right here we got the protective mesh ironing cloth, which is kind of hard. Like, what do you even target for this, right? So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna look at some of the description here. I know it sounds kind of dumb, but it really makes sense. This is kind of like where I get my initial ideas a little bit to what to target when it comes to these type of products. As you can see, people are ordering this a lot. But let's see, cloth ironing, cloth mesh. You're just looking at the keywords of like what's going on here. That should give you a good idea. We'll even look at the feedback. Okay, so it actually has really solid feedback, which is really, really good. Protective ironing cloth, perfect. Okay. Cool. So then what we will do is we will go here and then let's just start. I mean, who is going to be ironing most? People who, let's just say business people. Business people will want to iron a lot of their shirts. obviously because they want to look good, they want to look presentable, they want to look classy, but they don't want to ruin their shirts. So that's a good initial ad set to start targeting. So let's just say business administration. Let's do business administration. That's a solid one. And then we'll narrow it down with engaged shoppers. When I target worldwide, most of you already know, but I do like to use engaged shoppers in there just to make it a little more targeted. There's a lot of people worldwide that are just not gonna buy anything, right? They're just kind of browsing around. They're on Facebook not to buy stuff, so they're not under the engaged shopper category. And this is why this isn't like 2 billion people or whatever. It's only 370 million, and then it brings our ad set size down to 4.2 million, which is perfect. And then for the placement, we'll do Facebook feeds, Instagram feeds, just like that. Daily budget, we'll do $5. I typically like to stick to $5 a day. Now you could do $3 a day for something like this, but of course, you'll have to wait a little longer. Maybe instead of waiting 2 days, you're gonna have to wait 3 days afterwards. So we'll do $5 a day here. And then I always leave it at 7-day click or 1-day view. Let me explain this just real quick. Most people nowadays I see are doing 1-day click, and the reason why is because 1-day click conversion window essentially entails people who impulse buy, who will buy after just 1 click, right? So, that sounds perfect, right? That sounds like the dream. It sounds like it's exactly what we're looking for. So why wouldn't we do that? And personally, the reason why is because it is kind of the dream scenario. So it's more expensive. So yes, you could get more sales, but it's going to be at a more expensive price. And that's not what we want here. We want to be profitable in the front end and the back end. Now, if you do have a solid back end of your business and you know your customer lifetime value, so you can afford to be unprofitable with your ads as long as you're getting consistent leads, then sure, go with 1-day click, just try to get as many purchases as possible. But for what we're doing here, we're trying to get as many purchases as possible for the lowest cost. And the way that we're gonna do this is by just letting Facebook choose whether they're gonna show this to people who are more prone to buy things 7 days or in the 7-day click range or in the 1-day view. This is what you wanna do just so that Facebook has more wiggle room in order to make the best decisions and get you the cheapest cost. That's kind of a good way to put it. That's a pretty decent explanation right there. So then here's one ad set, right? So we'll click continue and then we'd make the ad, but that's not what this is about. And then, let's just say, I'm just going to leave this all the same. I don't want to have to do this over and over again. But then all I do is I confirm it, right? I click continue. It's all good. And then I duplicate this ad set and then just change, leave everything exactly the same and just change the interest. So from business administrations, I'll click suggestion and I'll do administrative services. That's pretty decent. So we'll do that. And then this would be another ad set. Administrative services, 7.8 million. Perfect. So there's another one. And then I literally just use the suggestions tab to kind of tackle as many as I see that are fit for this, So healthcare and medical services. So let's just say I like to do at least 10 ad sets. Honestly, personally, I do at least 15 or 20. But for someone with a low budget, let's just say you're doing 10 different ad sets. For each ad set, you're going to do one interest. So another ad set would be healthcare and medical services. So that's 3 so far that we have. So we're going to be spending $15 a day total so far. But if you want to get to at least 10, so that's going to be $50 a day. And healthcare and medical services. So let's just say we did 3 ad sets targeting business people or like I said, healthcare and medical services. So these are people that just need good clothes on all the time or whatever. They just want to have their clothes be not wrinkly and they need to look nice for their job. So that's the first person, the first type of people that we're going to target. So now we're going to move into a different category of people. So who else might get a good use out of this? So let's see. I don't know if this is a demographic, house, stay at home mom. That's a really good one. So stay at home mom, people who are, that's 770,000 people. That's not huge. I'll probably just combine this with a stay at home parent. So we'll stack these two just to make it a little bigger. 1.3 million, that's more of the size that I like. And here's the thing, guys, size does not matter as long as it's just a targeted ad set, Like obviously, if the ad set is 50 million people, but it's really targeted, like if this was 50 million, I would just do it, obviously, because it's targeted. These are people that are likely to buy this product. But of course, it's 1.3 million, which is totally fine too, just as long as it's targeted. So here's another ad set, right? Stay-at-home parents, stay-at-home mom. These are people who are likely to want to iron with this because they don't want to ruin their clothes. And yeah, so, and of course, here's a huge thing, just a random tip, but this is a solid product because it does solve pain points that you never really thought about, right? So for example, what's one of the pain points that it solves? I don't know if you've ever ironed a shirt and like burnt it, but it fucking sucks, right? It sucks to like ruin a shirt or any item of clothing because your iron was too hot or whatever, or you left it on for too long. This will solve that issue. It'll save you money, which is the biggest pain point that people, like everybody wants to save money. Everybody wants to save money. So this is what you got to really appeal to, people who want to save money by not ruining their clothes. That's one angle. And then of course you can make a separate video targeting people who just, want to get this done quicker or something, like iron quicker now. Maybe the pain point for them is, like for the business people, for example, is that they're in a crunch of time. They're not worried about money. They're worried about the time. They just need to iron quick and they don't want to wait too long. So this might help them with that, right? So just kind of get into that mentality. Like the deeper you can look into this, the more success you're going to have. And I mean, it's just kind of down to it. You guys are mostly testing things super randomly, and that's good, but just really think about who's going to buy this, right? Like if you just target like engaged shoppers or like, iron, yeah, that could work, but it's not likely to work as good. And yeah, I would do like ironing, for example. Obviously, that's a super solid interest for this. That's kind of like the first stepping stone. So we already have like 5 super solid interests of 1.6 million people. That's just fine. That sounds perfect to me. So let's just do a few more here. Clothes iron, that's another good one. So people, oh yeah, and laundry, people who would love to do the laundry. That's a solid one. 5.3 million people. These are all really good size audiences. They're very targeted. This is exactly who would buy this. And honestly, I'm tempted to test this product, but I'll leave it to you guys. If please one of you test this. I know, just do 5 ad sets if you're afraid of losing too much money. But I think it could work. I think you could get some solid sales from it, especially if you make a really good video. Or you could just test this picture. Like if you want to just test it quick and take action as fast as possible, just test this picture, but make sure that your product page is really good and you're appealing to all of these pain points that I'm talking about right now. And this is the exact thought process that goes into this. Whenever I target a new product or choose a new product even, it's not really always about the stats or anything. Obviously, I do prefer the product to have sales, because if it has sales, I know there's people out there that want to buy this. But it's not always just about that. It's about, what it solves, the issue that it solves, and how I can market it. And of course, the margin. These are like kind of the criteria you're looking for. It's a decent margin, a low product cost, and a solid pain point that it solves. And this is, it solves many different things. So I could target many different people and split test different videos or ad copies according to whoever I'm targeting. Now that gets a little advanced. I don't want to overwhelm you, of course. Just do 5 ad sets. Do the 5 ad sets that we just talked about. Like all of them, just rewatch this and test this image if you don't want to make a video on it, and just talk about those things that we talked about. Now let's just do one more here. Let's do this one, the stainless steel rod magic thing. Okay, so it'll be the same thing. Obviously, I'm not gonna set it up again. This is just it would be exactly the same as we just set it up, except the interest would be different. So for this one, we leave engaged shoppers. We leave everything the same, $5 a day. Everything's good. But for this one in particular, we would target, let's just look at some of the keywords again. This is, like I said, this is kind of what you got to do, kitchen tool. So this is obviously a kitchen tool. So we'll target people who are often in the kitchen and perhaps have this issue a lot, that, their stainless steel stuff gets pretty rusty and it's annoying. So let's see, metal rust remover, cleaning brush, useful kitchen clean, whatever. So let's keep going down. So this has some really solid pictures that like you could use for your product description. Guys, Rito, Flying Start Online, his channel is amazing. And the reason why I say this is because he just dropped a video the other day about how to structure your product description for optimal results. And I do think you should go watch that video and follow that video if you're confused on how to structure a really, really good and engaging and enticing product page. So make sure you go watch that right after this. It's Flying Start Online, or look up Rito, R-I-T-O, and just look at his like latest video. It's really, really solid. Rito's awesome. But anyway, so let's just get right into this again. So detail targeting. Who is this? Okay, kitchen. People who are in the kitchen a lot, right? Kitchen cabinet, kitchen stove. So kitchen's a little bit big. So you know what we're gonna do is we're gonna do kitchen. Actually, 51 million people, that's not too bad. I would actually probably target this, even though that is a little big. You know, it's definitely worth a test. This would probably be one of my ad sets. And this is why I like doing many different ad sets, because sometimes I do think this is too big, but it can work. So you have to test it out. And this is why, like, you know, it's important to do multiple ad sets so that you have that room to play around, right? To just kind of do things a little bit different. But traditionally, I would test this, like I said, just because I do a lot of ad sets. But if you're only doing like 5 ad sets or 3 or whatever you're doing, I would suggest you narrow this down a little further. Like, let's just look up kitchen again, and then we'll narrow it down by kitchen cabinet, you know, like something really random. Okay, that's too small. Home improvements. Okay, this is glitching up, but this would probably be like 1 million people. It's just being weird right now. Don't worry about it. So we'll do another one here. Cooking, kitchen utensils. Oh, kitchen utensils would be a really solid one, obviously. Kitchen utensils, 580,000 people. So we'll make this one a little bit bigger. Kitchenware, it's kind of similar. So we'll put those together and we'll make an audience that's a little bit bigger, so we get a bigger reach and smaller cost. Because that's typically what happens. So this is why you do want a pretty good size audience. I personally try to opt out of audiences that are like, you know, under 500,000. I will test them every once in a while just because I do test a lot of ad sets. But if I had a very limited amount of ad sets that I could test, I probably wouldn't test any of those. I would just test, you know, audiences that are 500,000 plus. And yeah, so, and then we'd keep doing the same thing. So this would be another ad set, right? So then in a new ad set, we do, for example, what do we have here? We don't have anything really. So we'll do who else would buy this product, right? Let's just think about it a little further. But I mean, it's mainly going to be people who are in the kitchen a lot. So we'll do people who love cooking, okay? Smoking, cooking. Ooh, smoking, like that's actually a really targeted interest right there, because not only are these people passionate about cooking, but they're actually passionate about a certain type of cooking, which is smoking. Like, if you ever smoked anything, like any meat or anything, it's really delicious. But not just that, you know, obviously it takes effort, so you have to have a really solid interest in it, and you get your stuff pretty messy kitchenware or whatever. Like, everything gets pretty dirty, so they would really get a good use out of this. And if you smoke your meat, I mean, chances are you kind of enjoy a little bit finer things. Not necessarily, but it does take that extra effort, and those people that put in that extra effort typically have a little more money. It's just kind of the way it goes. So this is why this is a really solid interest to test for this particular product. And guys, I'm giving you these products because, like I said, the low product cost is really going to help you, especially if you have a low budget, because you don't have to spend so much on product cost. And it's one of those things that people never think about. Like, what you could even do is charge for shipping, charge $3.95 for shipping, and that would cover this cost. Like, that would cover your product cost. Now, I don't always recommend that. I think you should maybe split test it if you want to try that. But I do have friends who are extremely successful who do charge for shipping, and that's the exact reason why, because it covers their product cost, and I do think it's a good idea. But anyways, guys, so let's just do one more here. Barbecue, smoked meat, grilling, ribs. We wouldn't do, I wouldn't particularly target foods, just because, like, you don't have to be into cooking to like a particular food, but you have to be into cooking to like a particular type of cooking. And that's who would buy this product, like I said. Maybe even chef, pastry chef, top chef, celebrity chef, or just chef. We'll do master chef. How big is that? 9.5 million, that's perfect. All right, so this would be really solid. So guys, please make sure you try this out. That's it for this video. Hopefully you got a ton of value out of it. I told you I was coming in with some fire today. This was really, really in-depth, and if you don't see the value, make sure you watch it over, because I know I dropped some massive value in here. And yeah, so hopefully you think so as well. I'm not trying to sound conceited or anything, but I'm really trying to help you out with this so that you can start making your first $100 day, $500 day, and then eventually join the program. I mean, I'm not trying to sell you my course or anything, but that's kind of the way that I like to structure my channel. Is like, I want to help you create that extra source of income for free, so that when you want to take it to the next level and get like true freedom, join the course. You'll have enough money to invest into it, so there's no reason not to. So hopefully that makes sense to you. I have good intentions. Hopefully you can see that. And yeah, I'll keep dropping the videos like this. Make sure you subscribe to the fam and join the notification gang. You want to be the first one to watch my videos every single time. I really appreciate it, of course. And make sure you stay tuned for tomorrow's video. It'll be awesome, just like this one. And yeah, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace out.
Nike's on my feet, keep my cipher complete. Nike's on my feet, keep my cipher complete.